Welcome everyone to another episode of Trek Talk. I'm TechMan16.
Bro.
Bro, too.
And I'm Strange Kirk, bro.
Today we welcome back one of the most exciting and lovable people of STFC, and that is Scarporen Lvl60. What's up, bro?
Not much, bro. I'm glad you got my name right. Since I've been level 60, a lot of people still call me level 50. And personally, it's a little offensive, bro.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, what level are you, Kirk?
What level am I?
Yeah, bro.
42.
Yeah, keep trying, bro. You'll make it someday.
We should aspire to be just like you, bro.
So, Scarporen, first of all, thank you for gracing our presence today. I think it was sorely missing from the show. I want to get into some real news. I heard Brovid-19 caught the Scarporen. How'd that go?
Bro, it was tough. So it was a specially formulated Chinese virus. It's worse than COVID, bro. Way worse. And
Oh,
I
yeah?
lost 30 pounds in 10 days. So how's that for a diet, bro?
So what are the symptoms of Brovid?
Well, I immediately lost 3 levels in the game, believe it or not. That's first off.
That's crazy.
Yeah, some of my ships wouldn't even dock with my station. So I couldn't repair them, but luckily they're so strong that, it really didn't matter.
You just forced them in?
I just didn't even repair them, bro. People keep attacking 70 million ships, and what are you going to do? That kind of power it's unbeatable.
So did you get O'Brien to help repair your station?
Dude, nobody's supposed to know about O'Brien yet, bro.
I'm sorry. Sorry, I'm releasing scope.
And here's what I'm going to try to do, guys. I'm going to try not to say bro too much because apparently it's intimidating some of my other co-hosts here on this podcast, bro.
What bros are intimidated?
Handy, you know who's intimidated, bro.
It's got to be Kirk.
Okay, so what are the other symptoms of Brovid?
I heard Kirk. Did I miss something?
No.
See what I'm saying, bro? I didn't even say his name and he heard it. That's the problem.
Sorry. I heard after the 5th bro, I started tuning out. I drifted off.
See?
All right, so you lost 3 levels in the game. So you went down from level 60 to level 57. You were a level 57 for a time?
No, at the time I was a level 57. And then I went down to level 54, and now I'm back to level 60. But it wasn't because of ivermectin, bro. I'll tell you that.
So what did you take to get rid of Brovid?
I just called Scopely and wrote him another check for $250,000. All of a sudden, I'm good again.
Are you saying that is there like a prime Brovid pack that we haven't seen yet?
That costs $200,000.
Give them money, and they give me stuff that you've never heard about, bro. Like O'Brien, the whole DS9 crew. Let me tell you about Kira.
What kind of mats does it take? Does it take G19 mats?
No, bro, you're not even at G5 yet, so let's just chill out, bro.
I'm just curious. I'm trying to find out information for the other lowly
it's all
players.
G5 right now. It's about G5.
Okay.
But what does Kira take?
You know what she takes, bro.
But
I can imagine.
It's all about Odo, bro. It's all about Odo.
How long were you sick, or how long was Brovid sick with the Scarporen?
Well, I was in the hospital for 10 days, bro. And Apparently, the bromonia was the worst case. It wasn't the brovid that knocked me down.
Hmm. And were you able to? I mean, people were just attacking your ship, so you just had your shield down, and there wasn't any damage done effectively.
No, yeah, bro, I don't shield. There's no point. Like, I've had 40, 50 ships attack my station, and like whatever, I never even know about it. I turned off notifications because I got bored.
So for the 10 days, so all right. Last time we spoke, usually you take your USS Scarporen, go to the founder server, and just like blow shit up at the founder server. Now that the founder server is 196, what and you were in the hospital with pneumonia. What happened to your ship? Where was it? How was it doing?
Here's the deal, bro. It's still there, but that was the old USS Scarporen. I'm now using the USS Scarporen A, and bro, it's amazing, bro. You wouldn't even believe it.
Do tell.
Well, it actually, bro, this ship sits between servers. So part of it is in server 196, part of it's in 17.
I'm sorry. Say that one more time.
Crying for a second? What was that?
I was. I'm sorry. My sides fell out, and I had to put them back in.
That's okay, bro.
Anyway, so you said it sits between servers. What servers does it sit between?
Well, I mean, right now it's 196 and 17.
Because those numbers are very close together.
Well, in my world, bro, I can cross into whatever server I want, bro. I can go into the future. Remember?
Wait till right. You see. Well,
I recently went to 2020.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't remember, Scarporen level 200 9 years from now had to go back to the past and raid Scarporen level 50 because he got bored.
Let me tell you. So I went to 2026, raided myself,
right?
But in the doing so, I found out that this guy named Pronger and the Pronger Empire had taken over server 17. Somehow, he had killed me, taking out my station.
No,
that's the only way I was able to raid myself. Apparently, this guy's trouble, bro.
Pronger. How was he able to crack your base?
First off, here's what happened. Somewhere in like 2023, he kind of became my buddy or whatever, a little sidekick. This is what I hear from everybody. This is what I hear from baby Scarporen Lvl60, who in the future kind of try to take over my legacy away from Pronger, because Pronger became my buddy. Then he betrays me somehow, takes over the US Scarporen, calls it the USS Pronger. I don't know what a Pronger is, but it sounds like something you eat with some cocktail sauce. I don't know. He's working for a guy named Yeomanence. They call him Yo. He became my buddy. He changed his name to Bro. I don't know, Bromanence. So this is all in 2026. Somehow.
I'm shocked. I'm shocked somebody could penetrate the Scarporen. But I guess if he had to take control, so this is why you have the Scarporen or the USS Scarporen A, because somebody took over the USS Scarporen and called it the USS Pronger.
Well, we're all talking 2026.
Right? Yes. Yeah.
But yeah, and I'm sitting between two servers so that no one can steal it. It's a tough time for this bro right now. Okay, 10 days out. A lot of things happen in the future. But anyway, baby Scarporen Lvl60 came back to 2021 to try to get some help from me. And, I haven't decided what I'm going to do yet.
Okay. So that means the future is as fluid as the present?
Yeah, bro. I don't want to cause some kind of loop or anything like this, man. It's kind of scary. I'm safe right now, bro. I got to be honest with you guys. for the first time in my Star Trek Fleet Command journey, I'm a little scared to go to 2026 now.
All right, so let me try and unpack what we just said. So effectively, 2023, there's a battle where Scarporen became friends with Pronger, and Pronger turned on Scarporen and stole his ship. 2026, Scarporen is what, still level 200?
Yeah, I'm still level 200, but bro, it wasn't just Pronger. It was this guy Brominence. We'll call him, he was Yeomanence, but he's Brominence now. After he took over the USS Scarporen. Then he gives the USS Scarporen to this little Pronger bro to come back into the past, steal my backwards cap and my sunglasses, which apparently is the source of my power.
Oh, okay. So they were making problems for you in 2023 to affect you in 2026. But you're okay still, but scared and sitting between servers.
Bro, have you ever been raided, bro?
Oh, jeez. Not for a very long time.
Well, up until this point, I had never been raided, bro. Except by myself when I moved to the future.
Yeah.
But I did find out. That's why I could raid myself in 2026, bro. Everything was broken. These guys had taken over.
So let me get this straight. Even though you sent a $250,000 check to Scopely in the future, you could raid your alliance mates?
I've been doing that for a long time. I can do that now, bro.
No, but like the
But let's be real, bro. I have a lot of alts out there. A lot of alternate accounts that I keep my eyes on all these different.
No. But what you're saying is you can raid your alliance members. Like you can raid purples in the future.
Yeah, but let's be real, bro. Most of these people come to me and ask me to raid them. They just want to be raided by me. It's like an honor, badge of honor or something, bro.
No, I get that. But I'm circling back to how your situation unfolds. Because if they're your friends, they could potentially be alliance mates, and so you could raid alliance mates in 2026.
It's very possible if you guys make it there. A lot of accounts don't make it that far.
Right.
Eventually, bro, they're going to merge most of the servers.
In 2026?
Yeah, by 2026, there's only 4 servers.
Only 4? Holy shit. Okay,
so my ship is currently sitting across 2 of them.
What catastrophic events, or can you, in your infinite wisdom, provide some catastrophic events that could bring to realization why there is such massive consolidation of servers? And if the future is fluid, like the present is fluid, is there anything we could do to prevent that?
All I can say, without destroying the time stream, bro, is when they release Tal, don't get him.
Really? Tal is
That's why he's just sitting there, bro. They're waiting. They want to release him. He does some amazing stuff, not as amazing as, the USS Scarporen and my character. But he eventually breaks down server walls without Scopely even knowing it.
Interesting. Handy, what do you think about that? Okay, let's go to Kirk. Kirk, what do you think about that?
Sorry, I'm having some connection issues.
What do you think about that, Handy? That Tal will lead about the destruction of many servers across the Scopelyverse.
I think it's to be expected. I'm not surprised. I've been keeping my eye on him for a while. And, I'm not surprised.
You're not surprised. Well, let's go to Tal. let's go to Tal and figure out what his powers are, because I don't have them. I don't think anybody's got them. Do you have them handy?
I do not.
There are a couple of
Okay.
people who got him when he was open at the very beginning.
You mean when he was available in the store for like 40 minutes?
Yeah. I mean, it costs money. That's all you got to do is throw money at it. Really.
All right. So the captain's maneuver: when fighting battleships, Tal increases the weapon damage of the ship by 20%, and then the officer ability: as long as the opponent's ship is burning, Tal decreases its hull health by 5% each turn. So effectively, what that means is every battleship in the game becomes ineffective.
But let me tell you, that 20% became 2,000% in 2023 when they finally released it. That's enough to break down the walls between servers. But nobody knew this, bro. And now you know too much, bro.
Now I know too much, and so does everybody else. So how are you protecting yourself, Scarporen? For the first time in your life, you are actually scared. How does it feel? How does it feel to be at the very top and now to be hunted?
Well, right now, bro, they can't find me. But they are waging war on all my old Alliance friends, my Alliance. I'm trying to figure a way to help baby Scarporen level 37, who came back from 2026 to 20.
Yeah, and how does baby Scarporen fit into all this?
How is he what, bro?
How does he fit into all this?
Well, bro, when I die, because let's be real, dude, I'm going to tell you, bro, and dudes, because that's my other word I use. In 2026, I'm dead, okay? That's the truth. I die in 2026. I know this now. Baby Scarporen level 37 comes back in time. I don't know how, bro. I think he went around the sun or something. I don't know, some Star Trek stuff. I don't get it, bro. But Pronger uses the USS Scarporen, which at this time is outfitted with a time machine, obviously, because how can I go around raiding different times without a time machine? He comes back, but in the meantime, I'm able to give baby Scarporen level 37. I'm basically like a Force Ghost at this time, if I can cross genres for you guys a little bit. And I give him my backwards cap and sunglasses, and he gets my power.
All right. So, is it baby Scarporen's job to declare war on Pronger and Bromans?
I think he just came back to warn us, to tell us this is where I'm getting all my information, and I trust him because he's baby Scarporen level 37. He's my son, you know.
You're right. Yeah. So tell us more about the USS Scarporen A.
Well, if you remember, the USS Scarporen could raid mats, and it could punch through server walls. The USS Scarporen A can sit between those two servers. So any server I've visited, bro, in the past, which is, pretty much all of them, I asked for Scopely to merge a couple of these, like the founder server, a couple of, like there was 40 something, I don't know. I just pay them money to handle it, bro. But to make it easier, because I haven't, it's hard, man, this is difficult to explain to you guys, bro, because I'm thinking in 2026 terms. You guys, stuff hasn't even, there are materials that haven't even been discovered yet, bro. Let's just say if I haven't been to a server yet, I can never get to it now.
Interesting. What about ISO? So when you raid, do you take ISO now as well from using the USS Scarporen A?
I mean, I really don't need ISO. Scopely gives me like 100,000 every couple of days just to keep me in the game. I sent them a list of demands a while back.
Okay.
I would
What
like
else did you
to hear
demand?
this list of demands.
Yeah, same here.
Oh, you guys want the list of demands?
Yeah, that would be interesting.
I'll try to remember off the top of my head. I don't have the list here, but a lot of it was about the game crashing all the time. I asked for more territories, which you guys don't have access to. But if you look at the territories and you look directly kind of northwest of where the territories are now, there are secret territories. I asked for more territories. They didn't want to give it to the general populace, so I said, "Well, just give it to me," and that was number one.
Okay.
Number two was to shorten the shield length, the little piece shield whenever you first hit somebody. I wanted it back to 5 minutes. They said no, so I stopped payment on 2 checks to them.
Okay.
I asked them to get rid of that $99 2,000 gold in the far right of the store. Come on, bro, right? Seriously.
The Vault of Latinum.
Yeah. Who's gonna buy that?
Nobody.
There's some noobs that have bought it, but they instantly regret it.
I heard somebody
Yeah.
bought it just to see if there was something special about it, and then
there is.
realized that there isn't.
There's nothing. It's just 2,000 gold, bro. And it's the first thing there, so you think, oh, this is super cool. Oh, 2,000 gold, 2,000 latinum. Nothing.
It's also 2,000 Latinum and 200,000 par steel. So, what a deal!
Yeah, my generators create that, and one generator creates 200,000 like that, bro.
I'm sure at some point in the very early beginnings of the game, it was actually a good deal.
Oh, I'm sure. In 2018, in like November, maybe.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Late November, probably.
All right, any other demands?
Long list.
Long list. So is it because of your demands that the game kept crashing so many times? Because they were trying to code it for you. Scarporen. I think you must have been sucked into the future.
It happens.
Pronger
must be attacking. He found a way to get
Yeah,
in between.
I had to check my shields. It's hard running the game in 2 different timelines.
Yeah, it's almost as if you're playing Star Trek Timelines.
I like that game, bro. What I like about timelines is you don't ever really fight anybody.
Well, you do. Technically, you do.
Well, what those ship-to-ship battles, bro?
Yeah.
I guess so. It's not the same, bro.
Not the same. Oh, does anybody still play that Apple Arcade game? I can't remember what it's called.
I played for like level 150, like in day 2. Basically, characters' butts, and that was like
You're being all robotic right now. I think your connection's kind of screwy. Must be the time vortex.
yeah, bro. It's time. I'm gonna try to reset my time machine, but if I don't come back, bro, I love all you bros, and good luck out there.
Take care.
Take it easy. That was Scarporen Lvl60. Anyways, what was that game called? The Apple Arcade game? Does anybody remember?
Yeah, hold on. It's on my phone. It's called Star Trek. Hold on a minute. I gotta wait for the motherfucker. The thumbnail doesn't even say what it is. It's come on, fucker. God damn it. Legends.
There you go.
Star Trek Legends. I haven't played that shit in a while.
Yeah, I was wondering if people still play it.
I mean, it's a good game.
I've never played it because I don't have an Apple device.
It's cool. I mean, it's definitely a good game. They had a lot of glitches at the beginning. Like, it was super buggy, and they started fixing it little by little over time. They got it dialed in pretty good. Because there for a while there was a glitch where you could not get past a certain mission, and it, a lot of it's storyline driven. You do the missions to get all the different materials, and couldn't go any further because it would just freeze up. And so they finally fixed that.
I mean, they called Scopely to figure out how to do glitches.
Well, I mean, I got it as soon as it came out, and
Right.
But no, I mean, it's a good game. It's another one of those. It's just like Legends, or not Legends, Timelines. You get to a certain point where it's like it gets so tedious.
I mean, it's made by the same company that does Timelines, or at least marketed by the same company.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, like I say, I mean, it's good. I mean, I can't say anything bad about it. It's just one of those games where some people are into it, some people aren't. Some people are really into like Final Fantasy or something. It's not my bag. Not a bad game. It's just not for me.
That's true.
I like games where I have to pay real actual money to make a small fraction of a percent increase in power.
Those are the best
Whoa.
kind of games.
Those are the best
What
ones.
game is that? What game is that?
Life and STFC.
Oh my
Although
God.
some of our listeners believe that those two are synonymous.
Life and STFC? Yeah.
Yeah, if I could just get this pylum, I'll be able to show everyone that I'm better than them. Or insert name of the ship here.
Has anybody else noticed that people feel a little more sensitive lately? Or I know everybody's always sensitive, but even more so.
Yeah, yes, and I have actually been taking advantage of it by roasting the hell out of people.
Just don't understand.
Like you didn't notice.
Like what's different recently that are making people more sensitive than normal?
Just like anything else, the amount of money that people are spending is increasing. So the further you go on in this server, the more and more people will get sensitive because the more time and money they've sunk into the game. If I sink $300 into something and then something happens and I lose that or whatever, I mean, whatever, it'll be fine. I'll live. But you sink thousands of dollars into something and you play it every day for hours a day for years. The amount of butthurt that you can evoke from someone it increases exponentially, right, as time progresses. So I think we're just we're getting to a point where all of our top players have sunk quite a bit of money into it, and they're getting more sensitive about their stuff. I mean, I guess look at old people in their grass. You know what I mean? Why do they freak out about some of the things they do? Don't know. Just with time, invest more time, more energy equals more emotion. It's pretty simple. I use it to my advantage, obviously. Like I say, I mean, I roast the shit out of people. No one's safe. People in my own alliance aren't safe.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna stop trolling. What happened?
No. So what I did was I started trolling our alliance members.
Oh, okay.
And so that's what I started doing. So I'm not causing any external issues, right? But the people who are doing like really weird stuff, like every time one of our female players jumps into the chat, they act like what did I say? They act like a 13-year-old that just saw boobs for the first time.
Yeah.
I call them out on it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and funny enough, Vidar's, who was visiting, is like, man, I could see that, and I've only been here 2 days.
Yeah. I mean, it's a very real thing. So anybody listening from Nona, you got to stop it. It's really super cringy. And those of us who I don't know what to say. I mean, those of us who have different life experiences or whatever, it's really weird for us. And we're talking about it, and we are using you by name. So And you just gotta stop, man. Like it's like these are the same people who would make fun of kids on a freaking Xbox Live chat, yet they're doing the exact same thing. So it's a little weird, and I don't want any of you to get fooled. Just because Handy scolds me a little bit does not mean that he does not agree with me. I'm gonna go ahead and throw that shit out there.
Yeah, I gotta agree with Kirk here. It is a little cringy.
So I mean, yeah, Handy, absolutely. Don't get me wrong, people. When I say stuff like that, believe me, I get a stern talking to. Okay, but at the end of the day, it goes something like this: Hey, man, you need to stop being so confrontational and stop being a dick to people. Blah 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 blah. And then my reply is, but I'm not lying. And then he'll say something along the lines of, well, I mean, you're not wrong, but still. Yeah, I mean, I probably shouldn't say those things, but I try to hold back as long as I can. But I mean, sometimes it's like somebody's got to say something. It gets uncomfortable. If you notice, I want you to sit back and I want you to listen. When you start simping over females in the chat, I want you to scroll up from the time you start doing that weird shit. Scroll up before that. See how many people were active in AC. And then after you do that, your weird shit, see how many people are not speaking anymore. That's because we all logged off. Because we're uncomfortable.
You're not wrong.
So,
what does simping mean? I'm out of the loop.
I could replace that with, sucking ass, whatever.
Oh, okay. All right.
It's
nosing. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much. It's like even in real life, you get a group of dudes and then a girl shows up and all the guys just start acting really strange and.
Well, you know how it actually started. I'll give you a little bit of a background. How it actually started was, people would just joke around, right? Just having a good time. And a bunch of people would get involved and joke around like we do to many people. Like everybody in the Alliance gets roasted about this or that or the other. And then it just turned into this like normal thing. Like every time she talks, just about the first 5 minutes, it's like being, trying to be funny.
Yeah,
sometimes it's funny, sometimes, most of the time, maybe not.
I'm telling you, it's the same. It's like it's weird stalker energy. I'm gonna tell you guys, man. That's the same energy I get. Being someone who investigated crimes for years and years and years, I had to look through people's messages, and things like that. When you're investigating stuff, you're looking at text messages and stuff like that. And the same things that you're saying, like the very similar things, are the same things that some of these weirdos who are locked up, and some of them are like convicted sex offenders now, they're the same things that those people were saying. So you may not be that person, but what I'm saying is you're giving off those same vibes and the same energy. And it's really strange. And it doesn't take an investigator to even realize that. You could be a freaking gardener and you could pick up on it. It's super weird, man. And I tell you, I know it may seem so simple, and it may seem like it's something that I hyperfixate on, but I have spoken with no less than I don't know. I'll just throw out a number, like 15 to 20 people that are in our alliance about it, and it's super weird. It disrupts communication. Like I don't even want to freaking play the game anymore with some of the weird shit that some people are saying. Like it's super strange, and it really gives off a here you go, trigger warning. It gives off a real rapey vibe sometimes. So
that's pretty bad.
I wouldn't go that far, but
I would imagine. I mean, like I said, seeing the things that I've seen and watching events unfold and seeing communications between people, it's kind of scary that some of the things that come out of people's mouths. Several of them come to mind. I'm not going to mention anybody's names because we all know people just take stuff and run with it. So I don't want to throw any names out there because I'm sure it's probably not the case, but like it's strange. There you go.
So on that note, I had a hilarious conversation last night with somebody when I was going to bed, because I was like, I was running a couple of Eclipse Armadas with a couple of my alliance mates. So there's somebody in GC talking or whatever, and I'm like, and I message them like, hey, it's like you can come hang out for a little bit if you want. I got some armadas I need to run. You got enough power, we can hit some of the bigger ones. And they were telling me that it's cool and whatever, but they really need an alliance where they can grow. This person's a level, I don't know, 38, 39, I can't remember. And I was talking with them for maybe like 15, 20 minutes, and they're saying, look, I appreciate it, but I can't join your alliance. I'd be like the top player there, and I really need to grow. I'm like, all right, whatever floats your boat. I don't really care. But then but I'm like, what are you looking for in terms of growth? Because growing is relative, right? You can grow as a solo player if you just do all the work yourself, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, not to brag or anything, but I'm like top 5 in my bracket, and you really need to like do all the research before you move up a level and whatnot. And I'm like, yeah, it's all fine and well and good, but the rewards are better at higher levels, and then you can catch up with what you need. And all of a sudden, because I'm like, rewards are better at 39 than they are at 37, better than they are at 35. I was like, and then like, no, you really need to be on point before you hit 39. I'm like, you could always catch up. It's not, it's not like mandatory. It's like, well, and then they're like, well, I guess you know everything better. Keep teaching what you're teaching. Have a good night. Bye. I'm like, wow, okay, fine, be that way.
Okay, so to whatever fucking person said this, I hope you're listening, because I'm gonna tell you. Yeah, you absolutely should jump up and play catch up. Okay, there's a couple of reasons. Number one, the resources that you get through rewards, dailies, things of that nature, the resources that you get are better. Number one. Part two to this is also because the research that you can do for efficiency becomes greater. So if you hang out down there, you can end up spending closer to the 12,000 uncommon mats to upgrade that tier 6 armor or shield or whatever that's on your G3 epic, or you do like me, you get up to level 42, and because of my research, it's less than 8,000. So, I don't know, you tell me. You end up saving 4,000 mats, especially for someone who's more free to play. I mean, look, we know that PMC will enable you to kill and hit way above your weight class. So like, for example, I can use my auger, 3.8 million out of the dock with a PMC crew, and I can kill 7, 8, 9, 10 mil ships, level 40, 45s, 46s, and 47s, and I can kill quite a few of them before I have to repair. So when you start thinking about the long game, you start thinking about efficiency. If you're worried about all that stuff and you're really involved, especially if you're not spending a hell of a lot of money, you need to look at efficiency and over the period of time, what's going to net you the best return. So there you go. Get bent.
Yeah, and then, I agree with what you say, because at the odd levels, I've noticed the research for the next tier of efficiency gets unlocked. So it's actually more prudent to skip all the even levels and hang out at the odd levels.
There are some even levels that you need to. I mean, there are some even levels that are pretty benchmark. Like level 38 is a huge benchmark, and level 42 is as well. That's when you can start doing your warp research, where you can you upgrade your warp research where it gives all of your ships +5 each research level you get. So you end up with a freaking
Yes, but I agree with you. But your dailies and everything that you have to do increases on the even levels, but all
Right.
your better research unlocks at the odd levels.
Some of it, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't entirely disagree with you, but there is a lot of research where you do need to get to some even levels. So, and it depends on the research you're going after. A lot of people are worried about, research for upgrading your weapons and more damage and stuff like that. And then you get other people that are more focused on your efficiency stuff, which, in my opinion, that's what you should really be focused on, is your efficiency. Because, I mean, once you start going up higher, you start talking to people like Handy, of course. I mean, they're in the freaking, millions and millions and millions in repair costs, but you start talking about that efficiency stuff, it's cheaper to repair your ship. It's, this, it's that. Those are the things that you should really be focused on, because once you start getting into those higher levels and you get that level 42 ship that you've always wanted, and now you're hitting with the big boys. You got, a G4 ship that's not, a jellyfish. It's a G4 ship, but let's be real. It's like a G3 Epic on steroids. And even then, it's like they're not even good steroids, right? Like, we're talking about SARMs at this point, not even full on anabolics. But the thing is, once you get up there, I'll put it to you in perspective. My Valdor out of the dock is like, with a PvP crew, is like 7 million. My jellyfish is like 6.2, 6.3 out of the dock with a good PvP crew. And my Valdor costs me somewhere, I can't remember, but it's like somewhere between 15 to 20 million tritanium to repair it. Whereas the jellyfish costs around 4 million. And here's the kicker. My auger defeats the same amount of hostiles, for the most part. Once you start getting to the really high levels, yeah, not so much, but my auger, for the most part, will defeat the same amount of hostiles as my jellyfish, and it's about, half of the freaking power. The point comes, like I said, it comes from the efficiency. So, yeah, we used to think that you wanted to get everything maxed out and, before you get to 39 and all that stuff, but it's just a way you're going to spend more materials. You're just going to have less stuff to, to kind of move around. And, so that is important in the long game. So Tech, yeah, you actually have it right. And you should keep teaching those things and telling people those, because fuck that guy. Or girl.
On another note, the skin, the USS 1701D skin for the Enterprise, God, it looks so weird.
It's
fucking garbage.
It does nothing, right? Like, there's nothing that it does. It literally changes the look, and it looks like shit.
Like, it looks like the Enterprise D was beat up in one of those episodes where it got blasted by the Borg. Like, one of them, the cells doesn't work. It looks really flat. Like, it looks huge.
Yeah, it's not appealing. I don't know what they were thinking. I mean, at least you could give it something to give you a reason to use it. Like, oh, it does 10% extra damage to hostiles or armadas, or some token amount that we would be able to justify equipping it. I am never going to use that skin in my life.
Yeah, I wonder if you could just... Yeah, okay, I could take it off. Yeah, even as much as I hate the Kelvin Enterprise, it looks better than the stupid skin.
Yeah, I mean, at least with the jellyfish, when you had the Constitution skin, at least it increases damage for hostiles. It gives you a reason to use it to make your ship look stupid.
Yeah, that's really strange, by the way. You change your ISS Jellyfish to with the USS Constellation that looks beat up. I don't get what these skins. Why are they supposed to look beat up? Like is that supposed to remind you how you got beat up in order to get those skins? What?
I don't know. Somebody came up with an idea and they were like, "Yeah, sure, man. Somebody will buy it." And sure enough, they had the auctions and everybody flipped out. I'm a little upset that I don't have it, because I only need like 4 more shards or something to get it, and they still have not offered it in an event store. And I said, the only reason I want it is because it gives you a little boost in your PvE stuff. So kind of waiting on them to offer it, but at least it has a purpose again.
And why change the look of the jellyfish?
I don't get it either. Omen, how are you, buddy? Are you feeling any better?
Hey, good morning. Yeah, actually, interesting thing. After the last podcast, about 4 hours later, I ended up in the hospital.
Jesus.
Really?
No, but I
You
mean,
all right, man?
yeah, I got the antibody infusion, and a few days later, I was feeling much better. But then I got the freaking post-COVID pneumonia, which I'm fighting right now. I'm pretty much at the end of that. So maybe 3 or 4 more days, and I'll be able to kick this effing pneumonia, man. But dude, it's been a rough.
Sounds like it.
Jesus,
Yeah.
man.
No, appreciate it.
Is it, was this a breakthrough infection that you had?
I believe so. The virus creates this perfect environment where bacteria can get into your lungs when there's liquid in there, and then that's how the pneumonia crap forms. So apparently that's what happened to me, because my lungs were filling with liquid. So I went into the hospital and got some meds, and they monitored me for a good while, probably about 12, 14 hours before they let me go home. So it obviously wasn't as I caught it before it got really bad, because pneumonia can kill you, man. Your freaking lungs fill up with water, and then you can't breathe. Constantly. Yep.
My half sister died from that.
And my dad died in March, post COVID complications. He just could not beat the pneumonia. Finally,
Man,
just good.
this isn't we don't talk about this stuff here, but I mean, we're already bringing it up. It's a very real thing. People that I can't fathom all the people that don't think it's a very real thing. I too knew people that, when it first happened, everybody I knew that tested positive had no symptoms, and I was like, oh, it's bullshit. And then as time, more people I knew were catching this thing, and they were having some issues. I personally know people that have passed due to complications from it and stuff like that. Man.
Yeah, it's a very real thing. What you believe or don't believe is neither here nor there. I mean, the reality is that people are dying. The numbers are real. Those stats are stats. Stats can be manipulated to say whatever, but you start seeing the the number, and as staggering as it is, man. I mean, it's a real thing.
Oh yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I mean, yeah, we know we've seen people. We know people. I know people personally in that field, and we're talking about how the numbers, like you say, can be skewed one way or the other. But at the end of the day, okay, so don't pay attention to that. Let's talk anecdotally. What about people that that have gotten it? You probably know somebody close to you that have gotten it. At least believe that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, both my mom and dad had it, and they were both polar opposites in terms of how COVID affected them. My mom didn't even have a headache. She's like, "What? What's this?" Well, she was completely asymptomatic. Dad, on the other hand, was again he was sick for about a month, overcame it, and 2 months later he passed. Post complications, with COVID, the pneumonia stuff got into his lungs. Plus, I mean, of course, he had some underlying medical issues. I mean, he was in his mid 80s. He had a little bit of COPD, and all those things are exacerbating issues that just he wasn't able to overcome. So he had finally overcome by that, and he passed away in March of this year.
I know people that one of the girls that trains at one of the gyms that I instruct at, that I coach at, she caught COVID, and to this day, she's very young. She's in her early 20s. She's like almost 10 years younger than me, and she caught it. And to this day, anytime she tries to do any sort of cardiovascular activity, she gets like a minute in, and she's like getting lightheaded. She just can't. She can't keep up anymore. And she's very active.
I'm concerned about the long-term health effects for some people, and some of the issues, the respiratory issues you're talking about are real. So this thing affects everybody, differently, so it's weird. I mean, it completely is. I feel winded just getting up and going to the freaking refrigerator to get some OJ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of my guys that works for me, he caught it and his case was a breakthrough infection because he was, double vaxxed. And I told him to go home. And he waited 2 weeks before he came back to work, tested negative, and then comes back, and he's just like, he's telling me that he's still not over it technically, because like his mind is still hazy. Because he's trying to focus, and all of a sudden, just thoughts kind of don't come like they used to, and it's just hard to concentrate, and other cognitive, declines, if you will, that he's still suffering with. So it's just it is strange how it affects people so differently. And my dad had a breakthrough COVID infection, and he just had like a sore throat and like a stuffy nose, and then he was fine in like 3 days, right? So it's just such a weird disease, because not very many diseases that I know of affect people so differently and in different ways. And it's not just the disease itself, and once you're over it, you're done. As Omen said, his parents or his father developed post complications. Omen himself is dealing with post complications. People are going to have very strange effects 3, 5, 10 years down the line. It's just such an oddity.
The post viral issues it's nothing new. I mean, we know people. This is a documented thing, right? I mean, people get a virus, they get a flu virus, and then later on, there's some sort of issue that they have that they just can't seem to shake. And sometimes, these people be like sick for 6 months, and then they wake up one day and they're like, "Whoa! All of a sudden, I feel normal again." Or they have issues for the rest of their life. So it's nothing new, but at least there's a greater understanding of those things because they've been around for a while, so we've had time to study it and look at it and things like that. And then you also have another interesting thing that I like to bring up is that think about the psychological effects. How much of these symptoms that people are having are, I don't want to say real, because if you're feeling it, it's clearly real. But how much of this is one of those all in your head things? Because we know it's very real. Your brain can manifest all sorts of things. You got people out there that get, when they get nervous, they start coughing and they can't stop coughing, or things like that. I mean, these things happen. So I'd be very interested to see, on just looking at it a different way, how much the sort of the fear mongering that some people have played it up, how much of that is affecting people because they're so deathly afraid that you're constantly thinking about it, and if you're constantly thinking about it, something could bother you. So, be interested to see.
I'm sure
what happens.
I'm sure somebody will do a paper on that here soon, and you'll be able to read it in the medical journal. There is a definitive mind-body physiological response, and what you're saying is absolutely true. In my case, the lungs being full of liquid post X-ray, because trust me, man, I don't want to be sick. I want to be well. I was supposed to go back to work on Monday. Obviously, I'm going to telework the entire week. I'm blessed to be able to be afforded that opportunity, so I don't have to physically go in. Most of the work that I do can be done remotely. But this new job that I started a little over a month ago is going to require me to travel excessively to visit certain sites, collect data, analyze data, and then make determinations. So I'll just leave it at that. I work for the government. But yeah, I mean, I'm worried that once I start traveling, if I'm not completely healed or whatever, I don't know how that's going to impact me. But anyway, I mean, it shouldn't. I mean, I feel confident that within the next week, 2 weeks, I'll be completely 100% again and able to move about normally. Hopefully that's the intent. Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting point you bring up, with this whole mind body, thing, because people are hypochondriacs, and they will talk themselves into being sick. I mean, hell, man, I know some people whose grade marker should read, I told you I was sick.
Yeah,
it's going to be interesting to see what the long-term effects of this thing is. I mean, and who knows? I'm not a conspiracy theorist wearing a tinfoil hat, but I mean, maybe some of the vaccinations and the experimental treatments are and have long-term cognitive effects, because I'm feeling the brain fog issue more so now than I did like when I was actually sick with COVID. So it's kind of weird.
Yeah, it's definitely be interested to see. But anyway, the good news is that you're doing better, so you're on the uphill.
I'm on the mend, but I'm still coughing. Got a little unproductive cough. It's fucking annoying.
I know it. Well, Tech, what do you got? I know I had to bounce on the last one, but last time we were discussing some issues that they were having with some armadas and stuff. Is that what you were going to bring up?
I invited Omen.
Oh, Handy. Sorry.
Yeah, just asked him to come on, say hi.
No. All right.
Yeah, did you guys finish with your war against VHC yet?
Yeah, that ended. It ended probably the same day that last podcast we came to agreement. I think it was within like 14 hours or so. And a few days later, all the tenets of the agreement were honored, and we're back to being neutral, I suppose. So it was good. It was good that it ended.
I tell you an interesting story. Here's what's this. It's really weird. So one of our players, shout out to Chesty from Nona, decided to start raiding someone from, I think it was from Most, and so I see that he was, he's trying to crack this base. So I just flew through to kind of help him just to crack it real quick. So I threw the old little Valdor at it and knocked it down, and he was able to get in there and start getting stuff. Well, some of their players started showing up to help. And so he sends me a message. He's like, "Oh, thanks anyway," but they showed up, and I'm looking, and it's like a bunch of level, like mid 30 players and stuff. I was like, "Hold on, man, I'll be there in a second. Hold on, I'll clear them out for you." So I go there, and I start clearing them out, and they're showing up and doing their little cloak thing, and anyway, so he gets to the point where he starts to be able to raid, and all of a sudden, here comes Epi warping in, and then he parks right next to my ship, and there was this really weird thing where he just kind of like shows up. It was Handy. I don't know if you saw it, but he shows up, he sits there, and then he warps out, and before I could message him, and so I don't know. Is Epi? No, Epi's not listening. Like, I wanted to know, like, what the hell was that all about? What was that? Just like show up and be like, "Hey, how's it going?" and just left?
Well,
like, what was the?
I can guess. My guess would be that he saw that the people's level that were there were way less than his, so he decided not to get involved.
My question would be, my question would be, is he allied with Most?
No.
Well, my point would be that if at the beginning, it might be why he didn't do it, but if I show up to someone else's raid and we're not allied with them, and I start interfering with someone's raid, that's generally frowned upon, right? Or am I off base?
Typically, yes. Yeah, it is.
So, I mean, yeah, it wouldn't be no skin off my back, but I was just like, what the heck is going on? And nothing happened, right? So it's not like there's no big deal or whatever. And I like Epi. I like Epi a lot. I don't have any problems with Epi. I don't have any problems with anybody in real life. I just talk a lot of shit on the game because, it's a video game. But it was just kind of weird. Like, I was like, are you going to blow me up? Because clearly I was no match for him. You know what I'm saying? Like, what was I going to do? Throw rocks at the hull? Like, I could give him a strong talking to and ask to speak to the manager, but that's about it. So,
some people, I don't know. I like Epi. Epi and I have known each other for a long time, but similar thing happened to me this morning. Handy knows what I'm talking about. So just people are just people. Man, I guess sometimes they're just curious. Other times they want to intimidate or instigate or in a roundabout way, just try to cause an issue for no apparent reason. I don't know, man. It could be anything. Best to ask Epi directly, but yeah, I've had people show up and actually try to steal raids before, or just kind of hop in with their survey ship and steal a belly full, man. For I was like, what are you doing?
Hey, Kirk, was that the raid that Dark came in to help out, and then all of a sudden that caused a whole issue between we're all allied and shit, and you're not supposed to raid allies and whatnot?
No, I think it's understood that we're not allied with most. No, we know.
Well,
know
we
that.
are now. We are now. That just changed.
Oh my god.
So we've temporarily set most to ally at Dark's request, and then we're going to discuss it and see if we want to continue leaving them as ally or what.
I mean, eventually we're going to be like dead, and we're going to be friends with half the server.
I don't want that because that's
that-
confusing and stupid. But
That is very, very boring, by the way. I think that is Nash's point of why he's back or what, I don't know, but that was Nash's point when he left the game. It's boring as fuck to be allies with the top alliances.
I went to Dead a while back before this arc to hang out because, I like everybody over there, and Cook's a friend of mine, and I've been talking about going over there for a while, but you don't want to go over there during the middle of an arc because all the, whatever. So I go over there, and I'm over there, and I'm like, all right, well, I'm here. And, at the time, I had the strongest ships. I had the biggest power. And I was like, well, which is weird for me, super strange. So I was like, well, hey, let's do some raiding because, let's do this. We can do something fun and all this stuff while I'm here. And I start looking around, and I'm like, oh, they got big fat, tritanium or dilithium or parsteel. And then I'm like, wait a minute. Half of the fucking galaxy has purple hearts.
Yeah.
And so I go to the diplomacy page, and I'm scrolling through, and I swear to God, they have like 10 allied alliances or something. I was like, buddy. I was like, what's up with this? And they're like, well, it's good to have all these friends. And I'm like, I guess? I don't think so. But,
you can be friendly with an alliance and still raid them. I mean, it's a fucking game.
Yeah, but they're all allies, and I was told that we can't hit, over there, they're allies. You can't hit anybody with a purple heart. So I just kind of just gave up and was like, all right, guys, I guess I'm just going to go back home. I'm not much going on here as far as the rating is concerned. So it's fun though. I like that group, good group of folks. But
yeah, but they do have too many allies.
And that's cool if that's what you're into. If you're not super PvP oriented, which I mean, I'm one to talk. I don't really do that much PvP anymore unless I absolutely have to. But it does limit you when you want to do fun things like, hey, we haven't raided in a while. Let's go crack a base. Like, oh, well, we can't because everybody's our friend.
I mean, it's pretty much it.
So,
I mean, each their own. If that's what their players want to do, then great.
Omen, how many actual allies do you guys have?
I only have one MBD.
Right.
MPD by default because they fall under MBD. We've always been very, how do I say this? I don't want to say selective, but yeah, we just don't have very many friends. Mill is friendly with us. We have a ton of veterans in BOLD. Myself, I'm a 30-year military veteran. I retired back in 2015 and then went right back to work for the federal government. They hired me back in a civilian capacity. So I've been serving for about 36 years. That's all I know, man. And there's just a connection there. We don't always see philosophically eye to eye with their leadership, but we are friendly with them. It doesn't mean that we'll come to their rescue or anything like that. And we've rarely been called upon to help them with anything. I think when they fought Razu, they asked for a little bit of help, and then Razu got all mad. But anyway, so we keep that list very, very short.
Well, yeah, and that was a big deal I remember when I was still in Dark. That's why it was such a huge deal, and it was shocking for a lot of people to ally with NONA. Well, for number one, you got two of the biggest alliances teaming up, so that's a lot of power. but also because Dark just did not have allies.
Right.
And never had. And that was it was just like an understood thing, and it was just widely known. Dark is Dark, and that's it. They had the sister alliance there for a while, but they even let them go, like at a certain point, and all these different things. So, it was that's the mindset that I had, and I understood when I was like, why don't we be allies with these people? And then that's when they explained it to me. Well, the more people you're allies with, the more complicated it gets, because if you're allies with this person, but then they start fighting this person, but you're also allies with them, then you can't get involved. But both sides want you to fight with them, and then everybody's mad at everybody. And so then I kind of understood, and I was like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. The more people you're friends with, the more shit you can step in.
Yep.
Funny thing with those
MVDs, like Kirk, that's exactly what was fun about Dark. It was before they had the QQQ guys as Little Dark. That was fun, and then for some reason they decided to pick up the QQQ guys as their sister alliance, which I told Raptor, I'm like, dude, that's a bad idea. And then they went with it, then they dropped them, and then picked up DSMC or whatever as Dark with a C. And then they allied with NONA, and it's like, what happened to the whole philosophy of, like, we're on our own, we do our own thing, and now they're merged with most, and so they're creating this network of just, all right, guys, let's just, like, PvE all the time.
Well, Handy could explain it better, but really, because I was kind of involved with that discussion, NONA allied with Dark because we didn't know what this territory was going to be about. And we saw the writing on the wall that we needed friends, because it's going to be very difficult, because they kind of gave us an understanding of how territories were going to work. We were reading over it. And I remember very specifically Handy, I, and some other people were in a voice chat, and we were looking over the maps and things like that. And we were like, we're probably going to need some help. And then, so that's when that idea started formulating. And I think at this point, it just kind of, we've just been allies for so long since TC came out that it's just kind of the way it is. That's just the status quo at this point.
Pretty much. People don't like change, and we've been allies now for quite a while, and blah, blah.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think that's what I think that's just how, it started at a necessity, and at this point it's just because, we're allies. But, it's funny, to date, Dark and NONA have not really done all that much together outside of TC.
No, we haven't, because we don't need to. There's no reason to. They don't need help with anything. We don't really need help with anything. So, But that's going to be part of our meeting, is just talking about stuff and seeing where the players land and what people want to do, what they see their future as, I guess.
Yeah. Be interesting.
I think where it's beneficial to have a couple of teams that have upper level players, because now we're in the 50 to 60 range, is that you're able to play at that level in terms of doing armadas and things like that at in deep space, where there's other teams that only have like one or two higher level players. That higher level player ends up I don't want to say missing out, but not being utilized or not capitalizing on the power level that person may have. Because, man, those 4-star armadas packs are expensive. It's a 65K for one epic, like 160 something for the UNC. So if you're banging out 35 level 35 armadas on a normal space, man, you're never gonna get a pack. You really need 4 or 5 or 6 players that can shore up an armada in deep space and take it down in one go. I think that's where the benefits of that is. And obviously, and then prosecuting war. It's extremely difficult for a lower powered level, if you will, alliance to go up against somebody like Nona and Dark as a combined unit. I mean, that's it is what it is. Kind of stating the obvious.
Nobody really needs to go up against us, though. I mean, we don't really. Neither of our alliances really caused any issues with anybody.
I mean, maybe that's a bad way to characterize it, but if the case would be where Nona or Dark felt that they needed to elevate aggression, I mean, it would be really hard for them to be stopped. Is all I'm saying.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
No, that makes a lot of sense when you put it into that perspective. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't cause any problems. But it is interesting that we are allies, but it's like we haven't really needed, aside from the assistance in territory capture. Obviously, it's very helpful to have that, but haven't really needed it.
No, not really.
So, domination today. How about that?
Again, I'm tapped out, man. Got dominated myself.
The worst event in the history of their events: domination and mining.
Well, luckily for this domination event, if you complete it, just upgrade your couple officers or get your ship up there a little bit. Upgrade a level on a ship or two. The blueprint or the heroic battle pass overflow is actually giving out some pretty decent latinum. So especially for free to play players, it's pretty good.
I haven't looked at it yet since I've been on the podcast.
Anyway, anybody else got anything going on?
Not really. Although, Omen, I did talk to Pars, and essentially he just forgot his ship there to start with. And then when you started messaging him, that's when he decided to recrew it for PvP and was like, okay. Because if you threaten him with a good time, he's all for it.
No, I did. Oh, you saw the message. I just say, hey, man. I said, just sitting there, man. I mean, are you planning on recalling? And then he's like, well, no. Is there a problem with me being here? I said, well, no, not really. It's just an aggressive stance. I mean, you have the right to be wherever the hell you want in the system, but why here? I mean, it's just instigating. I think he was just posturing, seeing what I would do. It's like, well, what can I do against your ship? So that's not the point. As we bring more people into the system, because we have a member that's leaving and decided to donate his RSS, which by now I have like 5 people in there. People finally waking up and deciding not to go to church or whatever. There's just no reason to be hanging there at all. Other than just trying to instigate something, in my opinion. The message that I sent him was not at all instigating fashion or anything like that, or threatening fashion. I mean, he might have taken it like that, but no, it's just like, dude, I mean, come on. You're smarter than that.
No, I think genuinely he just loves PvP. He lives for it. And by saying that people might hit him, he was like, okay, cool. He saw it as an invitation.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's just like, I get that, and that makes sense and from that perspective. But when I messaged him and I said, hey, man, we just have a member that's leaving. He's just donating his RSS. Are you planning on recalling your ship? And then he's like, why? What can I do to you? I was like, that's not the point. The point is I just don't want to escalate anything. And there's no need for him to say, hey, just got hit by BOLD, and next thing you know, Andy, TM, and Inco and company, and now Dark are sitting there, trying to PvP with us while we're just draining the member who's leaving, BOLD.
Totally get it. No, I agree with you.
I mean, there's no need for that.
Totally agree with you.
No need for that at all. Doing a peaceful operation over here.
So how about them finally adding all these officers into these chests? It's about time.
Oh, I know.
It pisses me
Oh,
off. I
nice.
can't pull any Lorca BPS though, man. Always give me crap I don't need.
Isn't it? Isn't yeah? It's kind of it does kind of suck as you get up there. You get more of the same. It's like, dude, I've already got all those officers maxed out. You know what I mean? But on the flip side, you can always take. They added Giorgio and TOS Spock to the lineup for transporter patterns, so there is that.
Been capitalizing on that. I already have Giorgio up to the 2nd level. Get ready to go up to 3rd level here in probably in the day.
The one thing that pisses me off is that I had I screenshotted it before, but I had like 300,000 transporter patterns because I was trying to do one of the little, I had been saving for a few weeks, and I'm just trying to do one of the pools for the little leaderboards, the half dailies or whatever, and for officer pools, and I had amassed like 300,000 of these transporter patterns, and I could have unlocked Spock and upgraded Giorgio with that, and then some. And it was like 2 days after we did that, they were like, "Oh, hey, look at all these new officers we added." I was like, "You motherfuckers, man!"
Yeah.
Oh God, man! I was like, that's just a sign that I just shouldn't participate in those leaderboards anymore.
I'm kind of OCD, man. I don't like seeing any red numbers over anything. Like, I got a 1 over the event right now, and it's just driving me batty. I want to go see what it is and clear it.
Yeah, I hate that too, but I did learn a while back, especially from some of the free-to-play folks, since I stopped spending money. They were like, "Look, man, like you got to save your materials, for when you have the event," and it's true. I mean, I've been doing that, and I've been getting a lot better return. I haven't necessarily been winning leaderboards because I'm not really interested in that. I want to be able to complete everything and get as much as I can, and at least place where I get something out of it. And I've been able to do that, so I've been trying to save the officer tokens and all these other things.
It's like one of those things. I know what I should do, but then I end up doing what I normally do.
Yeah, I did that. When I got my Valdor a while back, I was like, it was at tier 2, and I was like, I got like 50, 60,000 this and that. And I got all this billions of tritanium. I'm just gonna wait. And then like one night at 11 o'clock, I was like, fuck this, and I just sent it, like just spent most of what I had and bumped it up. So just get bored.
Yep,
it is what it is. But anyway, on that note, gentlemen, I'm going to go ahead and jump off here. I've got some stuff I got to do today.
Great day.
Take care.
Later.
I got some stuff going on in the background too, so I think this is a good time to stop everything.
All right.
Well, everybody have a great day.
Take care,
Omen,
Omen.
thank you, sir. Thanks for coming on. I hope you feel better and get
Appreciate
through it.
Thank you, sir. Out here.
All right, everybody, thanks for coming on, and thanks to Scarporen Lvl60 for sharing his story, and our wonderful co-host for being here. Handy,
Yeah.
got anything to say?
No.
No. Okay. All right. And shout out to Captain Mark Red Angel for making the new logo for us. It looks awesome. Good thing I didn't use the one with the Jerry Springer on it. Anyways, thanks for listening, everybody. This has been Trek Talk. I'm TechMan16.
And I'm Strange Handy.
And we'll see you guys next time.